Coming up, we'll tell you what we know about a police pursuit that ended in the arrest of a homicide suspect in Sioux Falls.
Plus, the 2021 legislative session is officially underway in Pierre. What issues the governor laid out in her State of the State speech. Good morning. This is Kelly Land on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A suspect wanted in a recent homicide in Sioux Falls is now behind bars. Local law enforcement say they chased the suspect late yesterday afternoon when he refused to stop. The pursuit went through central Sioux Falls before it ended near 2nd Street and Kiwanis Avenue.
Officers say during the pursuit there were some minor crashes, but so far no reports of injuries. Investigators will release more information during today's police briefing. You can watch it live on KELLYLAND.com starting at 10:30.
We have an update on a shooting that sent a 13-year-old girl to the hospital on Sunday. Police say 16-year-old Jasir Holder was arrested Monday at school. He faces several charges, including 5 counts of aggravated assault.
Police say the victim was in a car with several other kids, and they were planning to sell or buy something on the north side of town when they met up with Holder.
The suspect came walking up to the car. There was some short conversation. He pulled out the gun and then ended up firing the gun. After she was struck, then the car left, and they dropped a few people off, and eventually she made it to the hospital, and we were called.
Police say the girl has non-life-threatening injuries. The case is being handled in adult court. Turning to weather now, the calm weather to start the month could change.
Let's find out when with meteorologist Scott Munn. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, you two. Good morning, Keller. We are looking at changes ahead. But in the meantime today, get out there and enjoy it. 40s, 50s, and record-setting 60s across western South Dakota. And then those changes start tonight. A strong wind start to blow across western Keller. Let's go and show you what we do have going on with high wind warnings and high wind watches covering central, western, and eastern Keller starting tonight and lasting through Friday across eastern South Dakota. Now we also have to watch our snow, as that is also in the forecast as we do go into, well, for some of us tomorrow we'll start to see at least some of that lighter snow, but the heaviest of the snow probably tomorrow night and into Friday. More details with Brian Karstens coming up.
Thanks, Scott. With threats of armed protests leading up to the presidential inauguration, governors across the U.S. are taking steps to keep lawmakers and state workers safe. You'll notice extra security at Minnesota's state capitol.
A spokesman says Minnesota's Department of Public Safety is tracking possible protest activity and is ready to guard the Capitol and protect state employees. Nebraska's governor is also monitoring the situation and encouraging protesters to be peaceful.
We will take the appropriate precautions here in the state capitol with regard to that. I will also note that the protests we had here last week were peaceful, and I encourage anybody who wants to protest to continue to do it peacefully. That's the American way.
So far, no details are being made public on South Dakota's response. Governor's office and the Department of Public Safety both say they cannot comment on security. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem gave a State of the State speech yesterday. One topic she discussed was history education.
I have tasked my administration with creating instructional materials and classroom resources on America's founding, our nation's history, and the state's history. We must also do a better job educating teachers on these 3 subjects. Through all of this, our common mission and key objective needs to be explaining why the United States of America is the most special nation in the history of the world.
You can watch the speech in its entirety on KELLYLAND.com.
The COVID-19 pandemic affected local businesses everywhere. Now that a new year is here, Elevate Rapid City is hoping to help those businesses come back strong. The nonprofit launched several programs for small businesses during the thick of the pandemic last year.
They're prepared to launch more emergency funds this year, but have new projects as well.
Continue to shop local. We know that it matters and that it makes a difference during this hard time and these struggles during this pandemic for the local businesses.
You can check out Elevate Rapid City on its website at links we've provided on KELLYLAND.com. With another new multi-million-dollar facility planned for Foundation Park in Sioux Falls, the area is really beginning to take shape. Last year, Amazon announced it's building a distribution center there.
Monday, the city announced that CJ Foods USA is going to build a 700,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility.
Well, I think the state of South Dakota is pretty attractive in and of itself. I think we have a good tax structure that works really well for a lot of companies. I think the quality of life that we have here, I think the culture that we have here, the work culture that we have here, people like to work.
With this latest announcement, there are now 6 tenants in Foundation Park so far. And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
Okay, wrapping up our winter headlines and wind headlines. We've got a winter storm watch for this area of southwest Minnesota. Again, that includes Pipestone, Slayton, Worthington, and Jackson on that. That starts tomorrow night, lasts into Friday. High wind watch. This starts a little bit earlier. I do think that windy weather will be very common all day tomorrow here in eastern South Dakota. West River folks will start up this evening on that, and that's a high wind warning there. Here's a look at our forecast. Now, the outlook here is great today if you like being outside and enjoying exceptionally mild weather. That's exactly what we see, but a few showers are going to start up this evening. This will be the initial first round of moisture, but again, most of this will be light rain and then maybe ending as a little bit of a rain-snow combo in the southeast here. And then we'll probably regroup starting mid-afternoon tomorrow. The winds are going to be pretty strong all throughout the region here tomorrow afternoon. Again, it's highlighted rapid easily tomorrow morning, could be over 70. Sioux Falls might have to be in that 50-mile-an-hour range at times. And then, well, the system, instead of moving away, it stalls and actually redevelops here. And that's why Friday is a problem, because the wind is still blowing around, and we're going to add some snow to that. So keep that in mind. Travel is probably going to be a little rough here on Friday. I would imagine that we're going to have to talk more about that later today. 2 to 4 inches of total snow forecast for Sioux Falls through Friday night. More to the west or east of Sioux Falls, I should say, but certainly keeping all that in mind here. 60s today, West River, very mild. Rapid City 62, Sioux Falls 47. Your 7-day forecast on track for highs tumbling a little bit into the weekend. Not as warm. Obviously, a function of this, too, is how much snow do we have on the ground. If we get a little more on the higher end of that range total, we might have to cut these a little bit to start the weekend. And also, we've added another chance of snow for Monday. Not a huge chance, but at least it's something to watch there as that comes in from the northwest. Same thing in Aberdeen. We'll get our hit of snow tomorrow into Friday, and then likely a bit cooler. So no more 50s for a while in Pierre. Looks like 30s for the weekend. That wind will linger into Friday, and I expect Rapid City. Not a big hit of snow here. More wind than anything else, and cooler weather to follow in the 30s. Check out details online at KOTG.com, and have a great day.